Hi friends, welcome back to the Zesty Esty channel. I'm Esther, nice to meet you. Today I'm super excited to share with you how I made a super delicious dairy-free, refined sugar-free, and jello-free ice cream with this glorious Ninja Creami. So I've been recipe testing for the past 2 weeks to come up with a recipe that actually is not only delicious, but clean and doesn't taste like an icy milky slushy. I tried a few of the TikTok recipes, mainly the protein-based ones, the ones with milk and a scoop of protein and a tablespoon of jello. I find that those are good, but I still was craving something a little bit more decadent. I was also really interested to find out if I could get a nice creamy consistency without having to use those jello packets that tend to have a lot of artificial ingredients and things in there that I don't really want to be consuming every single day. The recipe that I'm sharing with you today is a peanut butter chocolate ice cream. So we're using 5 ingredients here plus salt. So 6 if you count the salt. The main ingredient here that's going to give us that nice creamy consistency is soft tofu or silken tofu. I'm gonna start with adding this entire block to my blender. You do have to blend all of your ingredients before putting it into your Ninja Creami container. And we're using 2 Ninja appliances to make this ice cream. This is a Ninja blender that I'm gonna be using. And just for you to know, this is a 300 gram container. Next ingredient is peanut butter. I have 3 measured tablespoons of peanut butter here. Usually if I'm using like a regular spoon, like one like this, I'll just do 2.5. But I went out of my way and actually measured this out with an actual tablespoon, and it's 3 here. If you are a peanut butter fanatic, you can add a little bit more. I would say that the 3 tablespoons is perfect for this. And if you're looking for a nut-free option, then I would just use some sunflower butter. You're not gonna get as much protein, but you'll still get a similar taste and consistency. The next thing I'm going to add is organic cocoa powder. This is 2 leveled tablespoons of cocoa powder. And this gives it a really lovely, beautiful chocolate flavor. And the cocoa powder is also gonna help with that consistency and that richness as well. Next is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. This is real vanilla. So notice I haven't added any sugar yet. What we're gonna add for sugar for that sweetness are some medjool dates. So I have 4 dates here. You wanna make sure that you pit these before adding them, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Dates are so nutritious for you, and they happen to be nice and sweet. So this is what's going to add our sweetness. It's gonna add some richness, and it's gonna make this super delicious. And I'm using 4 here. If you feel that you want an ice cream that's a little bit sweeter, you can always add 5. But what's great about this recipe is after you blend it up, you can test it and see if you want a little bit more sweetness or not. So start with 4 and then go from there. If you don't have much of a sweet tooth, you can start with 3 and go from there. I found that 4 was the perfect amount. The last thing I'm gonna add before blending this up is just some salt. So I'm gonna just add a few sprinkles of it. Don't skip this step. This is super important for the balance. So it's about a pinch or 2. As you saw, I just added a couple of sprinkles. And now I'm gonna blend this up. Okay, so our mixture is nice and smooth. So I want you to be able to see this consistency. It's almost like pudding, and that's basically what you're looking for before putting this in your container. You want a pudding-like consistency so that when you do freeze it, you're still gonna get that lovely richness, and it's not gonna be icy or watery. It's gonna taste like ice cream. Before you put this into your Ninja Creami container to freeze, you just wanna taste test it and make sure that the sweetness is good, make sure that you know, the chocolatiness is good. That's so good. Just grab my spatula here. There's a little bit of cocoa powder just stuck to the side, so I'm just gonna make sure that that's mixed in before I put it into this container. You do need to freeze this for a minimum of 12 hours, but they recommend freezing it for at least 24 for optimal results. So we're gonna freeze it for 24. I'm gonna have this for dessert tomorrow night, and that'll give us a lot of time in the freezer to freeze properly and set properly. I did have one that was frozen for 12 hours and it was fine. I don't know that I could really tell the difference, but I'm just gonna freeze it for 24. So I would advise to freeze it for at least 24 hours. The great thing about this recipe is it makes a really good portion. There's still a little bit of room here before the max fill line, so that way you have some room for mix-ins if you want. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plop the lid on. I have seen people online suggest to freeze these without the lid to avoid that hump that you get sometimes. And I find that this recipe has been okay. I haven't had the hump happen with this recipe, so I'm just gonna go ahead and freeze it like this with the lid on, and I will see you in 24 hours. Hi. So it's the next day. It's been 24 hours. I actually think it's only been 23 hours, but we're in the safe zone. So here's what this looks like. It is quite flat, and I did pull this out 10 minutes ago. Super important that you pull out your Ninja Creamis 10 minutes before you want to spin them. This is going to ensure that your machine doesn't go through too much I guess pressure. If your mixture has a hump on it, you really want to shave that down to not ruin your machine. We're good here. This is pretty flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the blade in here. So you just gotta use the latch to pop this right in. Lock. Now that this is locked in, I'm gonna go ahead and press light ice cream. If this is your first time doing this, be warned, this is extremely loud. Okay, so the first spin is done. So we're gonna have a look. Here's what it's looking like after the first spin. Not bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna respin it. I don't think this needs any extra liquid. I think it's gonna do well with the second spin, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop that back in, and I'm gonna just press the respin button. So this is what it's looking like. It looks honestly amazing. And now it's time for the mix-ins. So mix-ins are totally up to you. I really love a little extra crunch in this particular flavor of ice cream. So I'm gonna add a little bit of some homemade granola. And you can add honestly whatever you want. If you want to add graham crackers, if you want to add cookies, those homemade Snickers bars, the ones that you make with dates, peanut butter, and chocolate, are so good in this. I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm just going to add a little bit of chocolate chips. And I've chopped up another date, and I'm going to plop that in. I think the date's going to give it kind of like, almost like a caramel kind of feel. A little more chocolate chips. I'm just gonna touch more granola for some extra crunch. All right, back to the machine. Okay, I'm now gonna press mix in. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Wow. That looks so good. I'm gonna put this in this lovely little receptacle so you can see how beautiful it is. And again, this is completely dairy-free. It's refined sugar-free, jello-free. Check it out. It looks so good. Let's try it. Honestly, guys, I'm not exaggerating. This is so good. Like, it's so creamy and silky, and you don't get any of those ice chunks or any of that wateriness that you might get from a milk-based Ninja Creami. And the dates in there are so nice. It kind of feels like you're just having little bites of like caramel pieces. If you have a Ninja Creami, please try this. Please let me know if you love it, because I do, and I really hope that you do. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more Ninja Creami videos, then let me know in the comments. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you all really soon. Bye.